content right now and right here to be decompressing a little bit, yeah. Hey ja, hey ja, hey ja, ja, hey ja, hey ja, es ist leicht. Ja, es ist leicht, ja, ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. Hey ya, 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 hey me, ya, ya, hey ya, me, hey ya, hey ya. Hey ya, ya, hey ya, hey ya, ya, hey ya, ya. Hey, hey, ya, hey, ya, hey, ya, hey, 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 ya, hey, ya, ho, 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 hey, ya, ya. Hey, hey, ya, hey. Hey, hey, ya, ho, hey, ya, ho, hey, ya, ho. Hey, hey, ya, ya, hey, ya, ya, hey, hey, ya, ya, hey, ya, ya, hey, ya, ya, hey, ya, ya, hey, ya, ho, him, hey, ya, ho, hey, hey, ya, ya, hey, ya, hey, ya, ho, ho, me, ya, ya, ho, ho, me, ya, ho, ho, me, ya, ya, hey, ya, hey, ya, ya, hey, ya, ya, hey. Hey, ya, ya, hey, me, ya, ho, hey, ya, 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 ya. Hey, ya, hey. Hey, hey, ya, ya, hey, hey, ya, ya, ho, 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 ya, 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 ho, ho, me, ya, ya, ho, me, ya, ya. That is awesome. Hey, hey, ya, ya, hey, hey, yo, ho, hey ya hey me ya hey me ya hey hey ya 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 hey ya. That was awesome. Hey hey ya ya hey ya ya hey ya ya hey ya ya yeah hey ya ya hey ya ya hey hey ya hey ya ya hey ya ya hey ya hey ya ya hey ya hey ya hey ya ya hey ya hey ya hey ya hey ya hey ya hey ya ya hey ya ya hey ya ya hey ya hey ya hey ya hey ya ya hey ya ya hey hey ya locked and loaded they are. Hey hey ya hey hey ya ya hey hey ya ya hey ya 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 hey ya ya hey ya ya hey ya ya hey me ya ya hey me ya ya hey yo me ya ya hey ya me ya ya hey ya me ya ya hey ya me ya ya hey Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ya, hey ya, oh, hey ya, ya. Hey, hey ya, hey, hey ya, hey, hey ya, hey ya, oh, me ya, oh, hey. Hey ya, 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 oh, me ya, ya, oh, me ya, ya, hey. Hey ya, 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 oh, me yo, hey. Hey ya, ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, 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 ya, hey ya, oh. We are online. I mean, we're streaming. That's what I mean. Hey, hey. Oh, hey, 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 ya, 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 hey, ya, 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 home. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey, hey ya, hey ya, 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 hey ya, 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 oh. Hey ya, ya, hey ya, ya, hey ya, ya, hey ya, oh, hey ya, ya, oh, hey ya, ya, oh. Hey, hey ya, ya, hey. Hey, hey, ya, ya, hey, me, ya, oh, me, ya, ya, oh. Hey, hey, ya, ya, hey, ya, hey, ya, oh, me, ya. Hey, ya, hey, hey, ya, hey, ya, oh, me, ya, ya, hey, ya, oh, me, ya, ya, hey, ya, ya, hey, ya, oh. Hey, ya, hey, ya, hey, ya, oh, ya, oh, ya, oh, hey. Hey, ya, hey, ya, oh, me, ya, hey, ya, oh, me, ya, ya, oh, hey. Hey ya, om, ya, hey ya, 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 hey ya, 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 hey ya, ya, ya. Coast around, hey ya, hey me ya, hey me ya, ya, hey ya, 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 ya. Hey ya, 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 hey ya, 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 ya. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ya, hey ya, ya.
All of the things you want to have are going to happen. You must see through time with a plan in place so you can see it all come true to be the man you want to be. You see it and you make it come true. You make everybody else accept your version of reality. You see a version of yourself inside of your mind, and when other people do not see it, when they look at you, you bend space-time and change your outward projection, your avatar, so others view you exactly the way you see yourself. It is called belief. I'm saying.
Hey ya, hum. Hey ya, ho. Hey ya, hum. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, him. Hey ya, hum. Hey yo, hey ya, hey ya, him. Hey yo, hey ya, hum. Hey ya, hey. Hey ya, 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 hey me ya, hey oh me ya, hey ya, oh me ya, hey ya, hey ya. Hey ya, hey ya. Ya, hey ya, hey ya, ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ya, hey ya, 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 ya. Hey ya, 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 hey. Hey ya, ya, hey ya, ya, hey ya, hey. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ya, hey ya, ya, hey ya, hey ya, ya. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, 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 ya. Hey ya, hey ya, 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 ya. Hey ya, ya, hey ya, hey ya, 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 hey ya, ya, hey ya, ya, hey ya. Hey ya, 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 hey ya, ya, hey ya, ya, oh, hey ya, oh, him ya, way. Hey, hey ya, hey ya, oh, hey ya, oh, hey. Hey ya, hey him, hey ya, oh. Hey ya, ya, hey ya, ya, hey ya, him. Hey ya, ya, hey ya, ya, home. Hey ya, ho, 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 ho. Hey ya, ho, him ya, hey ya, home. Hey ya, ho, ho, home. Hey ya, hey, me ya, oh, me ya, oh, me ya, Making content, Yahweh, 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 Yahim, 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 Yahum, Yahum, Hey, ya, hey, me, ya, hey, ho, me, ya, ho, 25 minutitos, ya, ho, let's make some content. Ya, ya, ya. So whenever we do that, there is a question that somebody has in their minds. And my question right now in my mind at this current moment is, why am I actually making myself feel so bad by expressing so little about myself, although I could just scream and stream all day, all the time? And so in that way, everything is alright, everything is nice and easy, nice and fine. And we're ingesting the lovely chia seeds into my nutrition, into my diet. And I'm watching my own videos, Yahweh, Yahum, es ist so leicht, Yahim, Yahum, Yahim, Yahim, Yahum, Yahweh, Yahim, Yahim, ein paar Perlen in den Bart hier mir zu flechten, ja, hey, hey, ja, hey, mehr, ja, ho, hey, 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 yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, ho, hey. It's fun, it's fine, it's easy.
Welcome back. In this video we will be talking about our human longings that come out of our human condition, the origin of our mentality, our human longings. And this is quite a complex topic that involves also fulfillment as well as our mentality. So I try to get the bridge between those, so please do pay attention because this is truly an important topic, I do believe. So we said that our human condition gives rise to evaluation of our feelings. You know, we have those mental capabilities and we can think, okay, if I would be this way, mommy would love me more and mommy wouldn't scorn me, so I would not lose mommy's affection. Basically, all our mental capabilities of anticipating the future and reliving the past in the early years after this original trauma of the shift from unconditional to conditional love, as I explained in the last video, when this trauma happens, all the mental capabilities of the child are exerted in order to relive the past, to try to learn from what happened when mommy withdrew the love and how can I increase, the likelihood that she won't do it again so that I will love it again. Basically, all the mental capabilities come from that. So from our human condition, we have the abilities, due to our mental capabilities, to evaluate our feelings and to avoid them selectively. And from that come our four longings. Because if we shut a part of us away, then we long for wholeness, and this shows up in those four longings that I'm going to be explaining. Now, why is this important? In trying to fill those longings, we create a lot of mental noise. And we said before, one of the two reasons why we get out of touch with our feelings is the mental noise. When we reside too much in our headspace, we get out of touch with our feelings. And by trying to fill those longings with the means of the world, of the external, so to speak, we create a lot of mental noise and try to fill those longings that we have. So this is the importance because of this. And the second implication is, as I said, happiness and fulfillment. All those longings are connected to basically a fulfilled life. And those come out of our core, like our core wound, our human condition. So what are those four longings? The first one is the longing for nature, to feel deep alive and for realness. So many people seek deep conversation, they seek nature, they seek connection with an animal like horse riding or swimming with dolphins or having a pet of some kind in order to feel connection with nature because they truly feel unalive. Why is that? Why do they feel unalive? Because they have disconnected from a certain part of themselves, a certain set of feelings that are not felt. So the longing is there for wholeness. The longing is there to kind of get beyond our conditioning to feel alive again. And we have this longing to feel alive, and we mostly employ unhealthy means to fill that. For example, smoking, drinking, having sex, doing drugs, going on a roller coaster ride. Nothing wrong per se, but it does not fill this longing of aliveness. And with that, we create a lot of suffering and a lot of mental noise about, filling this longing for feeling alive again. Right. The second longing is the one for fulfillment, actually, like deep down, the longing for fulfillment and happiness, because we feel we are not quite happy, because in shunning the feelings away, we kind of cling to the feelings that we want and try to avoid the feelings that we don't want. And in this, we are always in this in-between of kind of chase and running away, chase and running away, chase and running away. We're never kind of in poise, in balance, so to speak. Yep. We see that fulfillment lies in the deeper sentiment along all those feelings, that kind of the negative and the positive are both kind of objects residing in the space of fulfillment that is underneath. And then when we allow everything to be there, there's nothing to be afraid of, because it's part of life. Some things are negative, some things are positive. This is just how life is, and we need to learn that. And when we actually allow everything, or the bad is not all that bad, but also the good is not all that good, it is just kind of nice experiences that you have in a human life, on your human journey, and the deeper sentiment underneath is uncovered. So this is a healthy means to fill this longing for fulfillment, to actually allow everything that there is. And this is what we will be doing in the next module. So the third longing is the one for relief. We have a lot of coping mechanisms in order to handle the stress of wanting to be different than we are. Because if we constantly oppose the present moment and the present life circumstances, what is right here and right now, the way I am right here and right now, we do suffer. We get tense and we get strained up, and we do suffer. So with that, we need unhealthy coping mechanisms in order to get rid of that stress. Some coping mechanisms could be quite healthy, or for example, going to the gym, like lifting weights or going for a run or going to swim. Those are all a means to get rid of this muscle tension, but like be true to yourself and like also look around at what other people are doing. Most coping mechanisms are quite unhealthy to give us this relief. And basically this relief comes from stopping to run away. There's nothing to get to, and there's also nothing to run away from. All those things need to be encountered and encompassed and embraced within ourselves, and this is exactly what we're going to learn. So this longing will also be fulfilled by becoming alive and learning and walking what we talk here right now in your life and integrating that. This longing will also fall away and you will feel at ease and relieved. The last longing is the one for connection, because we feel so disconnected from ourselves, from parts of ourselves, our feelings. We seek deep connection. And this is why so many people actually enter a love relationship out of just feeling unwhole and believing like the other person can fulfill my sense of unhappiness. But the sense of unhappiness, of unfulfillment, comes from actually running away from certain feelings, as we've just explained. So the deeper sentiment of everything is okay that it is, fulfillment, everything is good, never really comes out. So we always seek in the joy moments, in the spikes of emotions and the happiness, but that's not lasting because it can't be. It's just an emotion, it's just a wave. The fulfillment is the background, the deeper sentiment, and we will uncover that. So, with being more connected to all those emotions and feelings that we have, we get more in touch with ourselves, and the longing drops away. So, and this is basically the point of all that, and I try to bring this complex topic now to a wrap up. Our human condition brings us to those human longings. We're quite deeply unfulfilled because our mentality gets us out of touch with our feelings, with all the symptoms that we just explained, giving rise to those 4 longings that we have. And then every one of us is on a kind of human journey to fill those longings with externals, which creates suffering. And by actually learning this method, you not only will feel alive more and you kind of have the energy to change your life, but you will also feel deeply fulfilled, because then when everything is allowed, every feeling, you will sink deeper and all this longing will fall away. Just imagine how good it will be for your life if you would just be at poise, poise and at ease, and if you wouldn't be so kind of wavering and centered and grounded, and if you felt truly connected with yourself and would not need another person, for example, a love relationship, in order to fill you up, because you're already so fulfilled, and then you have a lot to give, and then relationship is actually really fun. If you're just there because you want to make the other person happy instead of kind of trying to cling to kind of extract something out of the other person. And all your unhealthy coping mechanisms fall away, because you feel like there's nothing to get to, nothing to run away from. There are still things I want to do, and there are still things I don't like, but if these come into my life, they need to be accepted, because I can't control everything, and it's unreasonable to believe that life is just positive. This is just a childish way of thinking. So, I enjoy the ride when the positive emotions come, and I kind of take a little time out when the negative emotions come, and so I live my life that way. And all the coping mechanisms fall away. And yes, I believe this is the main point, and I hope I could really, hammer this and, you can take it home for yourself, that by learning this method of allowing everything that there is, you will not only feel more alive, but your whole life will transform, because you actually know how life works. So my action step right here and right now for you is to really take some reflection time about the last things, because the human condition and the human longings and the human journey that we all employ, which I haven't been speaking about in detail because it's just not part of this course here, that's more, towards fulfillment and everything, if we want to get deep into that. like really go into that and let it sink in, maybe do some journaling on that, because this is the root core of your psyche. You know, every problem, every thought, every kind of emotional turmoil can be linked back to that. And if you find this way, actually your life can transform, you can shine real awareness on your conditioning. So take time for reflection and see you in the next video. It's really important that you do, because this is what you need to do. It is just necessary to take some time for reflection also, and to not rush through this course. Please let me urge you to do that. Thank you, and see you in the next video.
Got it. Okay, so there's a reason why those videos did very well. Because they were actually good. Got it. That makes sense. Nice. Good job, man. Good job.
Welcome back. We want to be talking about the subtleties of unaliveness and the minor implications that they are. And I would like to encourage you also, while we're going through this video, to really ask yourself, in which situations do you feel unalive, and do you encounter those things that we will be speaking about here? So the subtleties of unaliveness. Number one, we have less time feeling at all. You know, when we feel unalive and with all the conflicts that we have less net time feeling. And really ask yourself, when are you not feeling at all something and just being in your head and your mind? In which situations? What are the triggers? Just examine that, you know, as a little exercise. And also the feeling of disempowerment. You know, when we run away from certain feelings, a very curious thing happens. They actually come back to us for us to look at, you know. When you run away from something, for example, your anger or your sadness, and you kind of push those feelings away, they kind of accumulate and magnify, and at some point they just burst, you know, through the surface. If you haven't looked at them,
Exactly.
and haven't felt them through, they kind of come back to you, and then you feel disempowered because you feel you don't have any control over your feelings, which is partly true. But if you get into like days or like hours of unhealthy behavior, or whatever that might be, or just being flat out on the ground, just weeping or getting mad at people, or, you know, hating yourself, those unhealthy means that we, you know, employ, this gives rise to the feeling of disempowerment, and that impacts all of our life. You know, when we feel disempowered, it majorly, you know, impacts our self-esteem. So really think about, in which situations are you experiencing that, and what are the emotions that you don't want to feel. Maybe you can uncover some of those already. Also, we lose energy due to willpower. You know, when we try to push ourselves to be a certain way, you know, coming from the core wound of wanting to be different than I am. You know, I should be different than I am, feelings should be different than they are. So we need to alter something with willpower, because most of the altering yourself, willful altering yourself, doesn't quite come natural. So it takes willpower, and willpower kind of, you know, grinds you down and wears you out. So we lose a lot of energy due to willpower, whereas, you know, normally things would go and come freely and naturally if we would let go of willpower as a way of life. At some point we need to exert willpower, but as a way of life, you know, to push yourself with willpower to do something that you otherwise wouldn't do is very, very unhealthy and stupid. So examine yourself, where are you still doing that? And do not judge yourself for me saying stupid right now. I'm also having this trait in myself still. So just write it out. You know, where do you use willpower consistently? And is that using up energy? Be honest with yourself. Does it or does it not? So we also feel unwhole and broken, and we lose energy due to that. When we split off parts of ourselves and don't want to look at them, don't want to see them, don't want to feel that, don't want to be that, we feel unwhole and broken, giving rise to the longing of connection that we will be talking about in the last videos. And we feel unwhole and for some reason broken, giving rise to like a feeling of being put down or depressed or having like lack of energy. All that comes from that. When you feel lack of motivation, there's something unwhole and broken in yourself, which doesn't mean that you are kind of unwhole and broken in the sense of you're being faulty or something. It just means there's something to look at, and how we're going to do that is part of the next module. So bear with me for that and just examine yourself. Do you feel kind of disempowered or like not motivated or kind of put down, like lack of energy consistently? And you know, what can you come up with the reason for that? Which feelings do you not want to feel that come up in this situation? So I want to really encourage you, even if it's hard to write that out, because you have to exert this creativity for yourself. We have to train together, by me leading as an example, for you also to train yourself to uncover those feelings with a necessary portion of your own creativity in that, because this is the skill that you need to learn, the self-examination of the feelings that you don't want to see and then looking at them. We also lose energy due to self-hate, you know. We feel bad about our coping mechanisms, for example, and boy, do I, when I still have those coping mechanisms and employ those unhealthy means to calm myself down or to relieve myself of negative emotions, I do feel really bad. And we also feel disempowered because we feel not being in control, you know, and we lose a lot of energy due to this self-hate. You know, we want to be perfect, we want to be good, we want the things our way, we want to push things our way, but that this pushing is the exact reason why we actually feel bad about not reaching that, because pushing that is not the way to go. As we said before, willpower never quite lasts, and it comes from a place of wanting to be different than you are. So you shut your feelings away, and then they come back, these feelings, and then you need to cope with them, and you don't know what to do with them because you've never learned how to really feel through them and learn from them. So you just shun them away and then employ unhealthy means, whatever that might be, to kind of get rid of those feelings. And then we feel bad and hate ourselves for feeling we do not have control over those unhealthy behaviors. The thing is, right now we don't, but we can let them drop away by the methods of this course, the New Aliveness Code. So how are we going to do this is part of the next module. And we also lose a lot of energy due to all those internal conflicts that we have. You know, we want to do this, but our heart says that. Actually, I would feel like that, but I need to do that. For some reason, I really feel I must do this right here and right now. And this is such an immense topic where it goes like really subtle, but really examine for yourself, where do you have those internal conflicts between the voice of the head and the voice of the heart? Write it out. It doesn't need to be perfect. You know, you don't need to find 10, 15 points to everything. If you skip one of those bullet points, it's also fine. But just take some time for some self-examination of the subtleties of your unaliveness. How is it really impacting your life? All what we've been speaking about before, our human condition, not wanting to feel certain feelings, and now you know why that is. I don't need to repeat that right now. And your longings, how do you try to fill them, you see? And now you really see, why is that going on? You know, you have the mental understanding, you know, look at the roadmap. That's our goal here, module 3, to have the mental understanding. And now you really see where kind of energy gets dissipated. And when we get back into wholeness, we experience so much energy to change our lives and do something great for the world, and the world needs us. So I really believe this message is quite powerful, and also to employ, like, you know, to enable you to then go and teach this to others. This is also part of my agenda here with bringing this message out. So this being said, see you in the next video.
Yes, I am a YouTuber.
Welcome back. We said we want to get to a new perspective on our mentality and get to appreciate that, so we can go forward and really learn to work with our emotions, sensations, sentiments and fulfillment. But at first we need to start with our mentality, having examined that, our human condition and everything. And now we go into the new approach, you know, towards our mentality. Like, our human journey, we all seek certain things. We said we have those 4 longings coming from the human condition, and we all find ways to meet those needs. And the common sense approach is just to go about your life and you know, things will work out. You don't quite work on yourself and on your happiness at all because you've never been told. This is kind of the common sense approach. And then the old aliveness code, so to speak, like the general approach that you see more in personal development, is to actually find those things, find your purpose, find the things that make you happy, and then go out and do those things. But with that, you actually chase the emotion of joy, which is not the fulfillment and which does not give the aliveness that we seek. Because in clinging to the things that you want, for example, growing this imagined like great massive business, or having this partner, this love of your life that you kind of imagine in your mind and you manifest that and you pull him or her in your life, and then you're going to be happy. Or the perfect health that you arrive at with affirmations, all those things. It's not a bad thing per se. I just have to say, like, what we do comes from a different place. The old aliveness code is finding those things that fulfill you and then get them into your life without altering the place where you're coming from, this kind of wanting to be different than you are. Because then this thing happens, which is very common for achiever-type personalities. You get all the things you want and you're still unhappy. Why? Because you're still seeking for more, because you still feel you should be different than you are. So everything that you have should be different than it is, because it's never enough. So the new aliveness code goes a different approach, and I really want you to ingrain that into your psyche, write it down, mark it, draw like a little picture around. So we really have this as a core fundamental in this course, that the new aliveness code is about feeling everything so that the longing drops away. See, the difference is not to uncover your longings, know what you want, and then get things to fill that longing, the things that make you happy, but rather to let go of wanting to be happy. Do not seek joy and happiness, but rather stay with what is right here and right now, the feeling that is here. That needs to be felt. Everything that is here right now needs to be accepted the way it is. Where I am right now, I need to accept myself as I am. And then the things that we want come into our lives, you see, is like twofold. In letting go of happiness and joy and starting with what is right here, even our negative emotions, and feeling them through. Letting go of this happiness and feeling those things through will actually lead to happiness coming back to us by arising from underneath when everything is felt, in the same way as changing ourselves. You know, we want all those things in our life and we try to get them. And by letting go of changing ourselves and being okay the way we are, we actually tap into the power to really make some changes, and the change comes to us instead of us going after that. Do you see what I mean? It's crucially important, and I should have stressed this much more to the beginning of the video. This is the new approach. This is what we need to, you know, really ingrain in our psyche, that it's not about getting those things to make us happy. It's about letting go of wanting to change our life, letting go of wanting to be happy. I know that's hard, but those fears need to be addressed and need to be met.
Massive
and instead of
success.
starting
Yes, we
right
can.
here and right now, without kind of looking to the future too much about, oh, when I then have this aliveness, I will change my life. All the things that we've been explaining in the first module, your motivation and your goal, that's all fine. We need to have this clear, but not looking for that. Starting with what is right here and right now. Accepting that in all those things, all the aliveness will come to you, but you can't go after it. This is what I mean by the new aliveness code instead of the old aliveness code, what probably you have heard so far when you've been on the path of personal growth. So really let this sink in. This is crucially important. So, and the result of the new aliveness code is then a feeling of fulfillment of our new approach, you know, a feeling of fulfillment because all the things are felt, there's nothing to be afraid of, the deeper sentiment arises and we feel fulfilled. We feel at ease, we don't need to run anymore, we don't need to strive, the things come to us, we don't need to go after them. We feel connected with ourselves, with all the feelings that we have, and when we feel connected to ourselves, we feel connected to others. And then we can really have good relationships with whomever we choose to. And we uncover the well of energy. Not only are we fulfilled, not only are those things coming to us, kind of working magic, so to say. This sounds quite far out, but you know, this is the way it is. When we kind of let go of those things that we cling to, life actually gives them back to us. And even if life doesn't give them back to us, we're still happy and fulfilled. You see, this is kind of working the magic to do more with less. You know, achieve more by not wanting to achieve more, letting those things come to you. And this is what true life mastery is all about. And, you know, in this course we will learn that. So, and also we will tap into like the source of energy to really make the changes in our lives. So, new approach is that letting go of all that. And the way that connects to our topic of mentality is this way, is like that. The mentality wants to cling, you know, clings to the past, clings to the future, tries to make it happen. It's kind of the mode of doing. Our mode is different. The new aliveness code is about letting go of the mentality, even if it's hard. It needs to be practiced. And don't beat yourself up, it doesn't work for the first time. But the new approach is not to get those things to you, but to let go of the wanting to get them. Start with what is. Start with this moment right here. You know, acknowledge that, feel it all through, and then those things will come. Or they won't, but then it's fine, because we find this fulfillment by letting go. And how we do that practically, we will be talking about in the next video. So let this sink in. This is crucially important that we go about this entire course with this new approach.
Beautiful. All right, let's fill some bags, and then we come back, and then we're gonna do some content later tonight. Yaha, the content that we are about to make. Good content. I love myself and I love my content. I love myself and I love my content. I love myself, I love my face and I love my content. Yes, I'm looking great. Ja, ich flechte mir ein paar Zwirbel in das Bärtli.